everybody, this is a shortened version of the full video just to get right to the point. If you want to see the full version, I have a clickable link for you at the end of this video. This does not just apply to John Deere guys. You got your Husqvarnas, you got your Craftsmans out there, you got all kinds of riding lawnmowers that this is probably going to be the same issue on them. Not 100% of them, but by far the majority. You're going to find this issue right here. It's a design flaw. Or maybe it's not a design flaw, maybe it's on purpose so they can sell more parts. And yes, they do sell more parts. You got your blade spindle right here. Again, the majority of you guys are going to see this little grease fitting right on the side of that spindle right there. You take your grease gun, you grease it regularly, you grease that thing religiously, and then a year later, 2 years later, your bearings in this thing fail and you have to replace the spindle assembly or your bearings, and you go, well, why did I have to do that? I grease this thing all the time. What you don't know is that when you grease that fitting, the grease is doing absolutely nothing. It's filling up an empty cavity in there. It's not greasing anything. It's not greasing your bearings. Today I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. I got to be honest with you guys, could be a 2-beer job here. Bitburger German. Oh, I'm definitely going to save you some money today. Let's do this. What you have to do to check this for your own lawnmower is you have to get this top pulley off of that spindle. So let's do that first. Get that top pulley off. What we got to do is pop that jack shaft. Don't worry about your blade on the bottom. I'll show you why in a second. That jack shaft should pop right down now that you got that pulley off of there. So check this out. Boom. Jack shaft, blade, everything comes right out the bottom. Put that aside. Now, you got your spindle there. The only thing left in that spindle is your 2 bearings. You got your top bearing and you got your bottom bearing. I am going to pop that bottom bearing out of there so I can show you what we're talking about here. Boom, you hear that? Just drop down. There it is right there. There's the bottom bearing. This is the problem right here. Look at that bearing. It is a sealed bearing on both sides. Seal there, seal there. There's no possible way for grease to get in that bearing. You probably can't hear that, but it's pretty grindy bearing because I know it's going to be no grease in there. So because the bearings are sealed on both sides, top one and that bottom one sealed on both sides, when you're greasing that fitting right there, it's filling up the cavity in between the 2 bearings, and it's doing nothing. It really is truly doing nothing. That grease is not getting into those bearings. So what you got to do is take a little razor knife and pop one side of the seal out. Be real careful with your razor knife. Easily pops out just like this. Just like that. Pretty dry in there. Now, you got a couple options right here. If it is grindy like that, you can actually clean and re-grease these things or buy new bearings. I do have a video up here in my information button too on a video I did on how to re-grease these things and clean them. Check that out when you get a chance. So, that's how you fix that right there. You take the seal out of one side of the bottom bearing and the seal out of the one side of the top bearing, and you make sure that the open side, the side with no seal in it now, is the one that's pointing towards the grease fitting on there. So you still got the seal on one side of the bearing, so no dust and debris and water can get in from the outside, but the grease you're pumping in there can now squeeze up there and get into that bearing. Now you pump that thing full of grease and it's actually doing something. It's now gonna grease your bearings. Pull that one side off, put them back on there, jack shaft back on there, put it all back together, and now you're gonna get a lot more longevity out of those bearings because now you can grease the suckers. I have a hard time believing that an engineer who builds this stuff doesn't know that. It's so common sense. It's obvious that it doesn't work. I think it might be on purpose. There are so many things out here in this world that are built to fail. You wouldn't believe how many spindle assemblies, the whole assembly, that any small engine shop sells in a year. The last couple of shops I've worked at, hundreds of them a year because of this problem right here. I hope I saved you guys some money. Till the next time, guys. Steve out. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, click on that little button right there. If you'd like to see the full version of this video, it's a lot more detailed, a lot more in-depth, click right there.